You are listening to the Loida Lewis podcast, hosted by Loida Nicolas Lewis. She's a trailblazing businesswoman, leader, philanthropist, and the widow of Reginald F. Lewis, the visionary leader who was the first African American to build $1 billion company. With unparalleled determination, Loida Lewis has not only excelled as a successful attorney, but also shaped a $1 billion empire. Following the untimely passing of her husband, Reginald F. Lewis, she took the helm of TLC Beatrice, carving her legacy as a successful business leader. Be inspired and learn from her as she shares her wisdom, the secrets to her success in both business, in love, and in life. Let's live, love, laugh, and learn. With your host, Miss Loida Lewis.
Welcome to the Loida Lewis podcast. And today, I have the honor of introducing to you a Filipina who is here for the Fashion Week in New York. And look at her. Just take a look at what she's wearing. That is her own design. So with great pleasure, I present to you Chynna Mamawal.
Yay!
Yes.
Thank you so much, Tita Loida, for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Yes, and you said that you have, I've read that while you were still in college, you already started designing. Can you tell us about it? College, okay? She became a household name in the Philippines with her design.
Actually, ever since I was young, I really wanted to be a fashion designer.
Young, how young?
I'm lucky, maybe like 8, 9, because I knew when I was young that I wanted to be a fashion designer. I remember growing up, I had like Barbie dolls, and I would even cut their hair, braid their hair, or change their clothes, make few clothes from like a very tiny cloth.
Really?
Yes.
And would you sew it by hand? Or?
Sometimes, or I would staple or scotch tape because I was very young. I didn't know, but
Yes.
I just know if I want to dress this Barbie doll as in a dress or in a skirt or in jeans. And with me and my relatives, I have cousins from all over the world. I actually have cousins in New York also. So every December, we have a gathering in Alabang, every December for Christmas time. And they would always buy me designer bags, designer shoes, and I'm the youngest in the whole clan. So they would always dress me up like a doll. So that's sort of like sparked my interest in fashion. And my cousins, my aunties, my uncles, my mom, they're all very stylish. They like style, they like fashion. So growing up, I knew I wanted to be a fashion designer, and everything that I did in my life growing up is leading towards my goal, which is to be a fashion designer.
Okay, so you were in college, you already started as a brand. So tell us about it.
So when I was in third year college, because if you are taking business course in college, you are required to build your own business. But this business, I didn't treat it as a project. I treated it like a legit business. So when I was in third year college, I think I was already earning like 85 to 100,000 a month. Not bad for a third year college student.
Exactly.
Yeah. So during that time, I was just remember that time there was a time that the Bangkok clothes exploded. So I would sometimes go to Bangkok, and like maybe 70% of the clothes that I sell, that's in Robinson's Galleria. I had a very, very small boutique, and I would get some of the clothes from Bangkok, and 30% of those, I just experiment. I try to go to some sewers and ask them if they can do my designs. And even after graduating college, it did so well that I continued it.
Okay, what was the name of the brand?
It's called Curves.
Curves, yes. I've heard about it.
Yeah.
It was very popular among the young people.
Yeah, so I had this idea when you go to the store. I have like what I called fashion menu. So, because not a lot of people know that what their body shape is. Like there's pear, there's apple, there's hourglass. So I had like those fashion menus where you can see, for example, your body type. So I had like an in-house fashion stylist. So if you go to the store, we would give you the menu. So if you're let's say pear shape, these are the clothes available in our shop that would suit your body type. Because not a lot of people are, well educated about the different body types and what type of silhouettes and what type of cuts and what type of fabric and prints would suit their certain body type. And it did so well. But it's unfortunate that after running it for 5 years, it was caught on fire. Yeah. Have you heard about that in Robinson's Galleria?
Yes.
The whole east wing was caught on fire. So everything...
Oh my God! And you
Yeah.
were not insured.
No
insurance for that kind.
Yes,
Yeah.
no insurance. Plus, on top of that, my accountant wasn't. I was giving him money to pay for my taxes, and he would give me receipts. But apparently, he wasn't paying my
Oh my
taxes.
God.
And I was really heartbroken because that's my first business, and I put my allowances in that business. During that time, I was also part of the national team. I played tennis. So I also had like an allowance from the national team. So all my savings were in that business, and it was caught on fire, and I was really traumatized. On top of that, I had to pay penalties in the BIR because they said I wasn't paying when I was giving it to my accountant, but he wasn't paying it.
Oh my God!
So I had to pay like 1 year and a half amount of penalties.
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, be careful of all of those who are in business.
Yes,
Be sure you have a
yes.
reliable accountant,
Yes.
treasurer.
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry about
It's okay.
that. So what did you do that now that you had to it was gone.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
So I had a talk with my dad, and my dad was like, you know what, maybe you're not yet ready. Maybe it's not yet the right time for you to have like a full-blown business. So my dad told me, maybe you need a mentor first. So in my head, I'm thinking, during that time, I didn't have money because everything was in the business.
That's right. Yes,
Even all my receipts, all my BIR permits, like gone, vanished.
Yes.
So
that must have been horrible.
it's very horrible. And
Yes.
I remember I was sleeping, and then my mom was waking me up because the news says that east wing in Robinson's Galleria, where my store was, is burning, like currently like on fire.
Oh my goodness.
Yes,
Yeah,
I went
yes,
there.
yeah.
It was like you can smell the.
Yes.
They had to close it for I think a good 3 months.
Yes.
To renovate
Yes,
it.
of course.
So
It's all gone.
Yes.
I mean, the proverbial gun in smoke
yes,
really happened.
Literally.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
So after that, I was thinking, okay, maybe my dad is right. Maybe I'm not yet fully ready. So I wanted to look for a mentor. And if I'm going to work, might as well work for the number one, which is my former bosses were Teresita C. Coson.
Yes, yes.
So I just got...
She's number one.
Yes, number one.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because that was technically my first job. I just typed on Google Job Street. That was on Job Street. Job Street, fashion, SM. Jobs. And then I applied through Job Street, and then I got the job. And I remember my final interview was with the C family, the whole C family. Harley C was there. Sir Harley C was there. Tatang Henry C was there. C was there. Everyone was there, and I was kind of nervous because it's my first job, and it's like a whole panel.
What position was that?
They originally hired me as marketing manager for the whole SM retail in the whole Philippines, but after a month, they made me the OIC. I became the head. At 21, I was 21, and I was the head of the whole SM
My
retail.
goodness gracious! Did you hear that? Did you hear that? If you're good, you're good.
But I became the head by accident because when I got in, a month after, the head resigned, Miss Marilyn, and then the second in line was pregnant. So I was the head. Yeah.
At 21, can you imagine that? And you grabbed it. You did not
Yes.
say, "Oh no, I'm not worthy."
You have no choice.
Yes.
Because I was there because I wanted to learn. I wanted to be mentored. I mean,
And who better mentor than Tessie C? She's
Yes.
the head honcho of SM.
yes, I really learned a lot from her. And they're very inspiring. They're very simple. Even when they go, like, I remember we opened the SM Bulacan. So that was the first time that we brought Miniso here. I mean, there in the Philippines. So when we were there, they don't want special treatment. Even they line up to get something from Miniso. And it's so funny because the wife of Henry C would line up, and then TSC goes like, "Let's go, mom, because the chopper is there." But they wear the IDs. They tap in, tap out. If you don't wear your ID around SM, they will go to and say, why are you not wearing your ID? So simple. They're so rich, but every lunchtime they don't even go to, because the head office of SM, the main office, is in front of MOA. If you go to Mall of Asia, you would see those buildings like says AB. That's the main office, headquarters. So if you go to their office, they have like the small rice cooker. So they
cook their own rice.
Yes.
So that they won't buy.
Yes. So they every morning they pass by Binondo to buy ulam food.
Yes.
And then they cook the rice.
Yes.
And that's how they eat every day.
All right. So don't believe it that when they are rich, they go for steak and foie gras and all that. The C family. Okay, that's why they are so successful.
And I've never seen them wear any branded. They wear Parisian. They wear SM. They wear their own brand.
Right.
Very simple. I remember when I became the head, the first thing that TSC told me was, so I want to upgrade SM. So
with your style, with your creativity.
Because she toured me around 3 malls. That was North EDSA, SM Mall of Asia, and Makati. Her favorite SM is Makati, by the way. SM Makati. So
Makati is a upscale neighborhood, let's say like Fifth Avenue.
Yeah. So I was there, and she was like, "What do you think about the clothes?" I said, "I think it's very. Some are very tacky."
Good. I'm glad you were honest.
Yeah, but I didn't say the word tacky exactly, but something like that. So she said, okay, how do we improve this? The first thing I did was to fix the merchandise. So I had a big event in all the SM malls. All the clothes, I made it 70-80% off just to get rid of it. Yes, and then slowly changing the merchandise and changing the campaigns. And I was the first marketing to get like Chinese looking models, even like, the brown skin, because the C family originally, they all want Croatians, like really, really white models. And I was telling them that it's not relatable to the consumers. So there we started changing the campaigns, changing the merchandise, even fixing all the display. And during my time, we were number one. Rustans was second. Like the first time that it happened.
Okay, number one in terms of favorable,
sales
even.
Yeah.
I see.
Even the market of Rustans, people were going to SM department store.
To see what secret they have. Yes.
And people are like, "What's her sorcery is this?" Because I changed the campaigns. I made it a little more upscale. Not so much, but a little bit.
A little bit more style.
Yes.
More class.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
So the people going to the other one, they were all going to SM now.
Yeah, because it's cheaper.
It's cheaper,
and there it's stylish.
Yes, stylish.
Yes.
So after working for them I only worked there for only 1 year just a year.
Wow. And in 1 year, you changed it all. My goodness.
But the goal was really to be a fashion designer. But I felt like during that time, I felt like I was practicing for my future business.
Right. Yes. You were learning.
Yeah, Tita Loida, at least it's not my money.
Yes.
If I
It's like your MBA.
Yes.
And they pay you.
Yes. So I was learning about the industry, learning about, okay, so when you make a campaign, this is how it is. And during that time, the social media was starting to boom. It was kind of hard because the SM, how they do and hire people is, if, for example, this person has been with them for 10, 20 years, they will promote that, not because you're good. So when
loyalty.
Yes. And during my time, that was the first time that they were trying to get like new recruits from outside SM. So it was very hard because I had to convince them about social media. I was the one who did the Instagram of SM, the Facebook account, because at first they didn't think it would. But now I saw the accounts are all verified with thousands of followers. But during my time, I did it myself.
You started it. Yes, very
Yes.
good. Yes, you were just the right person.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were even under 30.
Yeah.
Yes, wow.
So
Wow, Chynna, that's
yeah.
remarkable.
When every time we have board meetings, I'm always the youngest, and people, like all the heads would say, "Oh, are you the new social media?" And I would say, no, I'm actually also one of the heads. So after that, after a year, I resigned. I remember my last project with them was December. That was December. I sent my resignation after Christmas, and then my last campaign was with Kim Jones, because TSC doesn't want me to get a celebrity. Because for her, it either makes or break the brand if you get a certain celebrity. So for her, she doesn't believe in. So I got Kim Jones instead. So.
And Kim Jones was the what?
Endorser of SM Woman, that specific brand. It's called the in-house brand of SM, so it's called SM Woman. I remember because every time it's Christmas time or before Christmas, it's the peak season for everyone, even for retail, all the more for retail. Excuse me. So when we were there, I had to wait for the go signal of TSC. It was so hard to get an appointment from her. It's so hard.
TSC is Tessie C. Coson.
Tessie C. Coson. I would even send the secretary pancit just to make, so I can make
time. So they give you time. So she will give you time.
She is so busy. So busy, but very, very hands-on. So... But during that time, I already submitted my resignation, and we're gonna lose a lot of sales when we don't up the billboards in the whole Philippines, because it's already Christmas time. So I told the suppliers, you know what, let's just put up all the billboards. She has no time to approve it. And Kim Jones was in the middle, and there was like a black model there was a Chinese model, and that's not normal for SM. So
yes, you broke the mold.
Yeah, I said, okay, let's do it. I resigned anyway. So I gave the go signal. They put up the billboards in the whole Philippines, not just Manila, because there's like SM Cagayan de Oro everywhere.
Yes.
And then the next day, I was having lunch, and then the secretary called me, and I was like, okay, this is it. She's gonna call me to the office. So
and you thought she was going to give you a tongue lashing or something because you did it without her consent?
For sure. What I did first before going to her, I printed like big campaigns of Tommy Hilfiger, H&M, Zara, just to show her that this is what everyone is doing. You can't just put like blondes and brunettes in all the campaign. We have to diversify. So I went there, I was holding the first thing she told me, why did you up the billboards without my approval? I said, well, TSC, it's already Christmas time. We lose a lot of sales if we don't put it up. And I gave her the numbers. If we didn't put it up just one day, this is the amount of sales that we will lose. Plus, on top of that, these are what the other brands are doing. Zara, Mango, Tommy Hilfiger. And she said, okay.
You were saying.
And I told her in person already that I wanted to resign. And she didn't I remember they didn't sign my resignation for a good 1 week. But I told her that I really want to, build my own business and resign. Mm-hmm. And then, so she finally signed it, but they were calling me for another, a good 6 months. But TSC reads the newspapers every day. She reads that's why she's updated with everything. So when she started reading me in the newspapers, that's when she stopped like calling me, are you really not gonna go back? But now I supply for SM.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So it's all in good time.
Yes.
Yes, you're staying there because you wanted to have a mentor.
Yes.
Okay, for the audience, you are in something new. Don't think that you know everything.
Yeah.
Look for a mentor.
Yeah.
Because then that will help you grow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, when I was there, we were like 7 new hire, but of course, like some of them, they grew up really rich. They didn't want to.
They didn't want to work.
Yeah, they didn't want to work. That's it. But me, my goal was to learn.
Yes.
So I felt like I was practicing for my future business. It's fashion, and they're the number one retail and the best mentors. So when I resigned December, and January my fashion school was gonna start already.
Fashion school,
Yes.
meaning you were going to school.
Yes.
To learn the details.
Yes.
Okay? So, again, a lesson. All right? You think you're so good. She still went to school. Okay? Don't even think that, I'm already good. I don't. You will always be learning. Always learning.
Yeah.
So, that's good.
The
So, how long did that take?
The school is called Institute of Creative Entrepreneurship. My mentors were John Herrera. John Herrera were my mentors before they moved to London, and I was their student 0001. Yeah, because I was already in the fashion industry,
Yes.
so I was asking people what's the best fashion school. They did give me some other schools, but I don't like commercial schools. And this was new, so I wanted to be there because I knew that the students weren't going to be a lot. So, true enough, in some classes, it was just me. So, one-on-one. Yeah, it was located inside the mall, Shangri-La Mall. I would always be the first in and last out, to the point that the owner gave me a key.
Okay. Focus, determination, and she's gonna do it.
Yeah, because I left my corporate job, and this is how I envisioned myself to be, and I really wanted to be a fashion designer, and I basically left everything to pursue this, so I can't fail, and that's not an option for me. And I'm having so much fun making clothes, creating something nice. So, like, during my time there, the owner allowed me to accept clients in the school when I didn't have a shop yet.
Wow.
So after class, I would attend to clients, do fittings, even use the school's like sewers. I mean, sewing machines. I would do everything in school. So while studying, I was already accepting clients, and my dad paid for the tuition fee of my school in fashion, but he didn't pay for the materials. So that was my dad's deal. Okay, you want to go to fashion, I'll pay for the tuition fee, but the rest you take care of it. And it's very expensive because
to
of
buy clothes.
the materials, the rulers, everything that you need, like sewing machine, all that. Because every project is you have to make something. So I was telling my dad, can I pay for the tuition and you pay for the materials because it's more expensive. And during my fashion school, I had to also get like side gigs,
yes,
just to
earn extra income.
Yes, so I would do hosting. Back then,
tell us what does hosting mean?
Hosting, like for weddings, I host weddings. Because before I had a TV show back then, it's called Sports Kids.
Really?
Yes.
TV show while you were working with SM?
I was very young. That was grade school, high school.
Grade school, high school. Can you believe it? She was in TV already.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because my mom is in broadcasting, so it's really her life, and I grew up with her. So she would always teach me about how to talk to the camera, how to dress up, how to like put makeup, and it's good for the camera. So she made me audition in this show. It was in Studio 23. It's called Sports Kids. So we were 4 in that show. It was me, The four of us, we kept in touch. The other one actually is an ice skater. She moved to New York, actually. And the other one is Javi Benitez. He's now a politician. And the other one is Anton Asistio. He's still a he plays for PBA now. So we all kept in touch.
That's great. And you all became, superstar.
Yeah, they actually went here to watch my show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So after that, I did fashion school. I was accepting clients and I was doing hosting on the side just to, have extra income for my school. And then I wasn't even able to join the graduation class because? I already built my own shop. Yeah.
You didn't have time to walk. It fulfilled your purpose.
Yeah.
Meaning you know already. And where was the shop?
Okay, so my first shop was in Wakwak. It's actually not a storefront. It's a condo. It's a 3-bedroom condo. So that's how I started. Because, when you're starting the rent, it's cheaper.
And your clients go to your condo?
Yeah, they go to my condo. One room there is for sewer. No, I actually got another space in the commercial area. But that's where the sewers are. It's where we make the clothes. And then on top, the 3-story, the other one is my office, and then the other one is the fitting room, and the other one is like the storage. So that's how I started, and it became bigger and bigger and bigger. And now we have a shop. It's in Wilson, San Juan. It's 1,000 square meters now.
Wow, 1,000 square meters.
I started with 95 square meters. Now it's 1,000 square meters. And I started with one business. Now I have 2 other businesses. So people just know my business. Me as a fashion designer, I make custom-made gowns and suits. But I have other businesses. So the other one is called Wear Casa. So I have like a ready-to-wear like jeans, shirt, dresses. We are already on our 8th branch back home. But it's inside the depth store. Because I work there, so I know how it goes and I know how it is. So it's like the affordable one. So the gowns and suits is the luxury one, and it's like Marc Jacobs, the high-end one, and Marc Jacobs by Marc Jacobs is the more affordable one. So it's something like that. And then my third business is a garments factory. So we supply corporate uniforms. We make uniforms for hotels, airlines. Even the merchandise, or let's say there's a politician running and he needs election shirts or a fan, and we corporate giveaways, we make those.
How about school uniforms?
Yes, we make
You
school
also
uniforms.
that?
Yes.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Very good. Yes, those are steady income.
Yes,
Income.
yes,
It's not based on that. Wow, you see that from one to another, wherever she finds that there is an opportunity. You gather it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
The 2 other businesses actually started during the pandemic. So I've been in this business for 6 years, but the 2 years it was pandemic. So technically 4 years. But during the pandemic, of course there were no events and we can't do gowns and suits. So I had to pivot because I have a lot of sewers.
Yes, they depend on you.
Yes, they all depend on me. So we started we were the first designers to create PPEs.
Oh, yes. You remember explain the PPEs.
Yeah, so it's the protective suit for the doctors. And I remember that time former Vice President VP Lenny posted or something that she is looking for designers to help her produce local PPEs. And then I just replied message, and then what she did, she sent me a sample of PPE, and then the doctors just gave us guidelines that it should be waterproof, it should be like this, the stitching should be only on the side, because when you stitch it, there's gonna be holes. So the stitching has to be very, very little. So we produced some samples and we sent it to the office of VP Lenny, and then they approved it and they gave me a certificate, and we started doing. When the other stores were closing, we were hiring. Because we were supplying PPEs to the government, we were supplying PPEs to the private companies, private hospitals. At the same time, we were donating. On top of that, I built Wear Casa. So I started making like athleisure wear, like sweatpants, hoodies, clothes for the house, like sleepwear, loungewear, and people can order online, and it was doing so well. So
During the pandemic,
during
that's
the pandemic,
2 years.
yes.
Yeah.
And
People don't wear, suits. You're at the house.
Yeah.
So she immediately hit on that need.
yes, and after 6 months of building Wear Casa, there's a, there's K-pop, right? There's K-pop, and now there's a new genre. It's called P-pop, Pinoy pop. So this Pinoy pop group called SB19. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they collaborated with Wear Casa. So SB19, they're very talented. It's the owner of that group is Korean, has a degree in Harvard, and they're the first Filipinos to be nominated in Billboard Music Awards against BTS, Blackpink. They're really talented. So when we did the collaboration during the pandemic, in less than 5 minutes, 3 minutes, sold out everything. So we were just making and making and making and making. Like right now, I also have a collaboration with their girl group. They're called Kaya. So that's what we do with Wear Casa. We do collaborations with artists, or sometimes I would get, let's say, a beauty queen to design, and it's gonna be a collab. So that's how it started. Plus, instead of me outsourcing the sewers to do all these clothes, I made my own
Yes.
garments factory. So all the businesses just rotate around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the good thing about that is that you have quality control.
Yes.
Rather than putting it to somebody else.
Yes.
Okay. Again, another lesson. All right. For business, be sure the quality remains.
Yes,
Because
yes.
sometimes, after you become successful, you put it over there, and then the quality destroys the name, the brand.
Yes.
Okay, that's terrific. Now, in terms of all of this, how are you handling the finances?
Well, finances, I have an accountant, but I'm still on top of everything.
You will not let it happen again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, right now, it's crazy to think that I have HR already, I have marketing, I have like a full team, but I'm really on top of everything. Even if I'm in New York, I work Manila time. So from usually like 11 p.m. until 4 or 5 a.m., I monitor everything.
Manila time. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think it's very important.
Yes.
Until it becomes like, what do you call it now? Until you have a not steady, you have a handbook, okay, where it will be followed according to
Yeah.
your core values.
Yeah, the structure, yeah.
Yes. So what are you very, very insistent upon when, as you manage your empire? What are your core values?
Within the company? If the things that I learned eventually is I would choose employees who are willing and who are, even if they're not so good yet, but are willing to be trained. Those are the best kinds of employees for me, versus the ones who are good already but they don't listen to you. It's the guide. It's more of like how I want to do things, because it's very technical. It's making clothes. Also, we have to always respect each other, and I always tell my employees that it's work, don't be emotional. Because sometimes when you tell the employees, they tend to really.
Yes.
So I always.
In sumasakit ang puso.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes,
they're very
yes.
Sensitive.
Yeah, very sensitive. So I tell them from the start that they shouldn't be sensitive because it's work. It's nothing personal. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, terrific. And now, how did you reach this level that you are now in New York representing the Philippines in fashion?
To be completely honest with you, I'm not even 1 foot for like on how I envision myself to be. I feel like I'm just starting. So ever since I wanted to be an international designer, because if you're gonna dream, might as well dream big, right?
Dream big, absolutely. That's what
Sky's the
Mr.
limit,
Lewis
yeah.
says. Yes, sky is the limit.
I just really do my thing. I feel like when you work so hard and when you put your heart and soul in something that you do, I think the universe will reward it. Like, I'm in New York, and then I attended Emmy Awards. I was seated beside celebrities. Rita Ora was in front of me. Lee Barson. She was on my left. Jeremy White was in front of me. Everyone, even the Hollywood stars, wanted a photo with me because of my dress. They said, "Oh, your dress is so nice. We want a photo with you." So I guess
It comes out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, you have to do it. You have to be disciplined and you have to be consistent. It's your own business. You have to be 100% every day. Sometimes when you work for someone, there are those moments or those days when you want to just slow down today. I'm not gonna give. But if you're the business owner, you have to be 100% every day. Even if you're not 100%, you have to be 100% because that's your own business. And you are leading these people. So it's like a domino effect. Like if this is how you make them feel, they feel that way. So you have to be a good example.
Exactly. All right. And everyone, look at her dress. And this is her own creation.
Yeah.
Is it possible for you to stand up so that they will see it?
Okay, here.
Okay. So,
Here.
there, look at that. A big bow, a nice color. Yes. And that is your own design.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So many lessons you're hearing from Chynna Mamawal.
Yeah.
All
yay.
right. So now there are some questions because I asked them. I
sure,
asked from the
sure.
audience question, and the first question is from JT. How did you feel showcasing your own work in New York on Fashion Week?
Actually, a lot of people ask me that if I feel nervous. Honestly, I don't feel nervous. I'm so excited because I've been doing this for the last 4-6 years, and I've been more than ready to showcase in New York Fashion Week. So I don't really feel nervous. I feel so excited and proud that I get to showcase Filipino craftsmanship in New York Fashion Week.
Fantastic.
And on top of that, I got Cole Mysek, who's an actor in LA, based in LA. He opened my show. Very handsome man. He opened my show for New York Fashion Week, and I also dressed him up for Emmys. He's also half Filipino. And the one who did my closing is R'Bonney Gabriel Nola. So she's Miss Universe 2022. And she did my closing, and she's also half Filipino. I really want halfies at least to walk for the runway. I make sure every time I do fashion shows, there's a Filipino walking for me.
That's terrific. All right. The next one is from Victor P. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In New York?
All right. From your lips to God's ears. Yes. Remember, she wants to be international.
Yeah.
Coco Chanel.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's just so much more opportunities here, and I feel like Filipinos are very talented. It's just that, when you're back home, you don't really get to have this kind of exposure and opportunities. So I think it's really the place to be, and I feel like I love the energy of the city. Everything is here. The best of the best is here. So I feel like growing up, I prepared for this moment. So I want to be here.
Yes, you should be here.
Yeah.
New York is the new Rome.
Yeah.
During the Roman Empire at the turn of the century, all roads lead to Rome. Now, on the 21st century, all roads lead to New York. And that's why you're here.
I love it.
Chynna. Yes. Now, this is from Kat L. Who is your favorite celebrity that you dressed up, and why?
There's so much. I love all of them, actually. It's like, when people ask me that, it's like asking me who's my favorite child. But if I have to name a few, I love Lovi Poe, because Lovi Poe just lets me be. She tells me, okay, just do whatever you want. I also love R'Bonney, of course. For men's, I love Tim Yap, because Tim Yaps go crazy with the design. Sky's the limit. Marco Gumabao, Jericho Rosales. There's a bunch. I love them all because the reason why I dress them up, because they represent my brand. So
that's terrific. Now that you have come to New York, join the Fashion Week, your debut here in New York City, what's next for you?
Definitely I will join more international shows. I want to create a name more like in the international and in the global scene. And as I mentioned earlier, I want to move to New York. Who knows, Tita Loida? Maybe we'll be neighbors.
Yes.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yes. You never can
never
tell.
know.
Yes. And as you said, if you do things right, the universe, God, divine providence will see to it that it comes, that you get what you have dreamt for.
I hope like the Philippine community and like all the people that I meet in the fashion industry will continue to support me in this journey. I also have a current collaboration with my other business, which is Wear Casa. I have a collaboration with Kaya. They're also a P-pop group, the girl counterpart of SB19. And my other business, if anyone needs like corporate uniforms, you know who to message. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you give your email address or your
my Instagram?
Instagram.
Yeah. So my Instagram, you guys can follow me at Chynna Mamawal, ChynnaMamawal. If you click my profile, everything's there already. All my businesses are there. Everything is basically out there.
Okay. So remember, this Chynna is CHYNNA.
Yeah.
Chynna.
Yeah.
All right. Chynna Mamawal. That's easy to remember.
Yeah.
So good. Yes. Terrific. There you have it. So this is Chynna Mamawal. And you hear it from the Loida Lewis podcast. Live, love, laugh, and learn together. Thank you. Thank you very
so
much. That was so good. That was so good. That was so good.
The Loida Lewis podcast, hosted by Loida Lewis, is produced by the creators of Over a Glass or Two, Jesse and JV. Executive produced by Loida Nicolas Lewis. Rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for a chance to be featured on a future episode. Have a question for Miss Loida? Just email us on askloidalewis@gmail.com. Your question might make its way to a future episode. Subscribe on all major platforms to never miss a beat. Thank you for listening to the Loida Lewis podcast. Let's live, love, laugh, and learn together